Since I am batching these episodes, I batch recording them, I'm gonna intro this first and record the rest of the episode later. So this episode is going to be about my family and the dynamics of it and how other people perceive it. Yeah, and the gist of it in regards to half my family being black and half my family being Asian. And it was a bit hard to say because, of how people perceive that growing up. So that's what this episode is going to be about. To getting a close to this end of the season and the end of 2023. Let's talk about it, shall we? In Heartfelt Expressions with Katara Speaks. Let's talk about family dynamics. I talked about this before in the food episode. Food and two cultures. And I wanted to go more in depth because it's the holiday season. This time of year where I see them and I just live in the moment and cherish them. Though it reminded me of the things that people used to say about this whole dynamic of mine, this whole dynamic of my family and of my life that became such a normal thing that I never questioned it. So, half my family's black and half my family's Asian, and there's the intermix of the two cultures. So, there was a time when I performed, and there was someone who asked me a question. They asked, "Oh, why do you seem as if you're trying to act black?" And I was so baffled. I was so baffled, and I didn't know what to say because I just performed my piece. You know, I'm a poet. I'm a storyteller. I'm a performer. And I was so shocked and I asked, "What do you mean?" You know? This person said, "Well, you seem to portray yourself in a certain way. You change the position of your snapback. You are leaning and swaying. What's that? You projected your voice. You came off all rough. And it seems like you trying to, what is that called? Poltergate? No, that's not a word. Appropriate a black person. You can just be yourself." And I was so speechless that I was like, this is me, you know? This is how I perform. I'm not sure if that is what you're talking about, but half my family is black. I grew up in that culture, and where I live, it must have rubbed off on me, you know? I never thought of any difference, and no one ever mentioned that before. And I was like, why did you say that? And they was like, "Oh, I know a lot of black people, and that's just how they act. You should have told us that your family was black, half of your family is black, because I could not listen. I could not listen to any of the words that you said in your piece. We were distracted." And I looked at the crowd, and I looked at this person, and I was like, I do not have to explain myself for anyone. This is just who I am. I do not have to say that this is my background, you know? Because life is life, y'all. It is. We can just be ourselves. And I was rethinking and then asked about why they mentioned that this was not like me, that I was acting so differently than before I performed. And they said, well, you seem so shy, you seem so quiet. I talked to you and this is not how you seemed. Mind you, y'all, I only shook their hand and said, nice to meet you. Because it takes me a while to warm up to people, depending on the scenario, And I didn't have much to say in the beginning until, I got comfortable. So I was just so baffled how someone can determine who I am just from one small interaction, and then get shocked that my family dynamic is the way it is, and try to blame me for not explaining myself. I do not have to explain myself. I do not, and y'all don't either. It may be confusing for people, but this is your life. There was another instant that irked me. When people was talking about their experiences with police, right? I tried to chime in and relate to them and said my sister is black, and I remembered when I was in a terrible situation with her and we got pulled over by the police, by multiple police, by the way, and their body cams were off. They were very aggressive until they saw me. The tone changed every time. I am so glad that I was there. And the people that I shared this with were like, oh, it must have been so inconvenient for you that your sister happens to be black. I was shocked. We do not decide the color of our skin, y'all. We are born this way. Hey, she is my sister. Family is family. I don't see her as an inconvenience. No, I don't see my family as an inconvenience, no matter the shades of our skin or the texture of our hair. Y'all, family is family, and it should not be this way. The judgment, and I understand that they probably was defensive and felt that I was trying to chime in where I couldn't. Though I was in that situation, it is very unfortunate that black people in the United States get treated a certain way, It doesn't happen all the time. Though profiling is a thing. So, I did not like it. I did not like the experiences with the police when I was with my sister. And I did not like how people perceived me because I said half my family's black. Even though I don't quote unquote sound black to some people, because we all have our own voices and we grew up in different places, I don't look black because it's not in my blood, to my knowledge. It's not fair to discredit people's life experience because of the features that is apparent. Even my siblings, my siblings are mixed. Depending on how strong their features are, they cannot claim sometimes one or the other. Because it's a choice, we get to identify, yes, they are both. Though, if their skin tone is a certain way during the summer, or their hair is a certain way, it's more evident to the one side over the other, you know? It is pretty shocking. It is pretty shocking indeed. There are other scenarios where my family reputation and integrity was, family's reputation, integrity, decision making, and what's that? Functionality was questioned because of the intermixing cultures. It should not be the case, you know? Love is love. Family is family. We can love who we love. We do not have to stick to one race, to one ethnicity, to create families, to create bonds. We do not have to be blood related to be considered family either. I understand that there are some people who disagrees, and everyone has the right to have their own perspective. Though this is what I grew on, you know, with the diversity in my family and diversity in my community. This is what I grew with, this knowing that love is love, family is family. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your ethnicity, your race. Yeah. This is life, y'all. So I wanted to share this a little more than I did in the episode of Food of Two Cultures, because there's more than just food, y'all. There's more than just food. Yeah. This family dynamic is wonderful. We're all filled with individuals. Family is filled with individuals, and getting to know each other on a deeper level and creating those connections is priceless. So during this holiday season, I'm going to, of course, have food and enjoy quality time with my fam. So, yeah. I hope this episode helped you guys understand a little bit more about my family dynamic, because I used to be so self-conscious about it, about how people would perceive me. And I remembered I used to not even say it in that episode, Food of Two Cultures, or Food in Two Cultures, because it seemed taboo, forbidden to say, if I do not look or sound a certain way. That's not fair, you know? It's part of who I am. So I'm glad that I was able to share it with you guys and gave you guys another perspective. What is your family dynamic? Do you consider family as family? Do you consider friends as chosen family? I know I didn't really go into friendship in this one, but friends can be chosen family, you know? To me, yeah, I see it that way too. You know, families, people, like, you know, we don't choose our family, but we can choose our friends. And even within family, you don't have to connect to them just because you're blood related or just because you're in that circle or square or triangle or octagon. Yeah, any shape. Yeah, you get to choose who you connect with within family or within friends or anywhere. So, yeah. If you guys enjoy this episode, let me know. Share it with someone you know. Follow, subscribe. I need to figure out which one is it. I think it's just follow the podcast. I'm not sure. I shall look it up in the next season. Yeah, I shall figure it out. So it's just like one thing I can say. Yeah, if you guys listen to the other episodes, I am so grateful. And if this is your first one, welcome. There's other episodes you guys can listen to too. This season 1, is coming to a close. 2023, the time that I'm recording this, is coming to a close. So I am excited. I'm excited to spend time with my family. I am. All the dynamics, all the culture, all the food. So, yeah. Until next time, I see y'all soon.